Hey, it's Sammy for another episode of the I Do Music podcast, and our goal and our mission is to empower and educate musicians and artists worldwide. And on today's episode, we sit down with legendary producer Bangladesh, discussing why he values his independence, working early on with Ludacriss and DTP, and creating timeless music. Hello, everybody. It's Sammy for the I Do Music podcast, and I am sitting down with the legendary producer, hitmaker, Bangladesh. How you feeling?
What's up? How you doing? I'm good.
I'm good.
Can't
I'm good.
complain.
Happy to have you here.
Thanks.
Yes. So you've been in Atlanta for a while, but actually recently found out that you're from Iowa.
Yeah.
What goes on in Iowa?
Shit. Lions, tigers, and bears. I mean, it's the same thing as inner city. I mean, it's no different. I mean, people's idea of it. I mean, you know how America will paint a picture of something, like whatever they want you to think, that's what you think. So, you know, when I moved outside of Iowa, you know, and people, you know, I tell people where I'm from, they immediately think of cornfields, but it ain't cornfields. Like, it's like anywhere else, you got to drive way out to see some farm lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the inner city, like the city. You know what I'm saying? So it's urban community. It's just small, you know, small population of black people. So there's no opportunities there. Besides, you know, the regular stuff. Like I grew up with my friend sold crack and same thing, same story. Like it's no different. Like it's nothing to brag about or nothing to, you know, highlight or nothing. But it's the same thing. And people's, you know, interpretation of it is like totally opposite of what it is. Cause it's really a dog eat dog atmosphere, you know, the same thing anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't sound like much hip hop goes on there though.
Yeah, it's a hip hop cult. I mean, it's urban, so you know they're influenced by it. There's not its own thing there. Like it don't, like Des Moines, Iowa don't have its own sound or own influence on that level. When I was growing up, I only knew of two people that actually produced and rapped.
Really?
And you know, it was like foreign, so you didn't see too many artists and, you know, doing their thing, you know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm curious because, I mean, you found, or it seems like hip-hop found you somehow. What influenced your love for music growing up, and how did you discover hip-hop if it wasn't necessarily there?
I mean, music is just in the blood. I mean, it don't have to be a hip-hop or presence to be musically influenced. Music is in my blood. I mean, my whole bloodline is talented, you know. Like,
I heard you.
Probably like the least talented, honestly.
Really?
I probably just took the most chances, and you know, I was probably the one that wasn't scared. But I mean, my whole family plays instruments, sing, sew, do hair. You know, it's like creative atmosphere.
I heard your family was in a gospel, your uncles or your...
my grandpas and uncles, they was in a gospel group. My auntie, cousins all had, you know, gospel groups, like real great groups, you know what I'm saying, that possibly could have made it, just didn't sacrifice the right things, you know what I'm saying? You know, being from there, you don't see the example. So sometimes when you don't know how to step out on faith, you scared. Like, you know, we're taught to be scared of trying things, of being scared of failure.
It doesn't seem like you were scared of much because you stepped out on faith in high school.
Nah, I'm not scared. Like, I think being scared is weak. It's a weak trait, you know. Being scared is not going to get you where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? If you want, I hear a lot of people, they want stuff, but they ain't trying to do it. Like, what are you doing to actually to get that stuff? And you can't be scared. You can't be stagnated. You can't be locked in Des Moines, Iowa, or wherever you from. that don't have an outlet to what you're trying to get, you gotta go get it. You gotta go find it because it's there for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I just think it's interesting that you recognized early that you were, or you just said yourself, because I didn't even recognize that you may not be the most talented in your family, but yet you've gone on to make hit after hit as a music producer. What was the moment that you recognized you were going to become a music producer? That was going to be your outlet, your career.
I always talked about that since I was in elementary. I don't know. It's always I think my older cousin had a lot to do with my influence. You know, I ain't have no biological father, so like I ain't have no strong male influence, you know, to follow or nothing. But my older cousin, he was always in the music. He bought records and stuff. He had a record player, and you know, he had a keyboard and a Boss Beat machine. So that's when I first heard the word producer, you know, from him. That's what he wanted to be. So just through elementary, through middle school, through high school, I would just, like when we have career day, elementary, I remember me telling them, an establishment full of white people, you know, they was asking what we wanted to be, and I said I want to be a music producer. Wow. And you know, they try to knock it. You know, it's like, oh, what kind of music you want to produce? Hip hop? I don't think it's gonna last. You should try something else. That's how people talk to you. So I always flirted with the word. Like the word was always in my vocabulary, just from my older cousin. And I think middle school, I started noticing my influence on my peers, you know, just being myself. I had a big influence on them, just that I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like they dress like me, they think like me, like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, you know, we'd be at the lunch table and they, you know, somebody said, you know, when I wake up, you know, I go to the closet, I think about what Dre gonna wear.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? So I like, damn, I started paying attention. Nah, not feeling myself, just put things in perspective to you know, noticing the influence and right. Like just knowing that, you know, you can influence the world or influence a mass of people. You know what I'm saying? Without trying to.
It just seemed like you're very aware of yourself early on, like in comparison to most kids or most children growing up. Like you decided that you were moving to, or asked your mom, your parents, could you move to Atlanta in high school to stay with your aunt, right?
Yeah.
And that's how, and I guess she said yes, because you ended up at Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
That's dope. And was she like, I guess I wanted to ask, was it your decision to go to Tri-Cities, or she was down for that area? Because that's a school for the arts. That was like their magnet program.
Well, my I had two female cousins. Already went to Tri-Cities. So,
okay.
You know, they my age. I'm actually in between both of them. Mm-hmm. Like we all grew up together. So like the family that I moved here with was the family that these are my first cousins. This is my mom's sisters and her kids and her husband. They actually moved to Atlanta because my uncle passed away. And my oldest cousin, who I was talking about, was going to college. See, my oldest cousin have a lot to do with a lot of how I got where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? He moved to Atlanta because he wanted to go to Morris Brown or Morehouse, one of them. So, you know, her husband died, so she just wanted a fresh start or something, you know what I'm saying? So she moved to Atlanta. And my auntie always been was the one to try things, you know what I'm saying? I think she was the influence too, because she got me, like, just thinking different. When I moved in their house, you know, they didn't eat what I ate, you know what I'm saying? They was vegans and they ain't drink milk. They ain't do a lot of things we was taught to do, you know, growing up that ain't good for you. So a lot of the way I think is from being around that family. Like I said, he moved. He was going to college in Atlanta, so she just moved the whole fam. And my female cousins, one was in elementary, one was in middle school. So by the time, that was in 90, my mom wasn't trying to let me stay there, you know what I'm saying? But I would come to Atlanta every other summer, you know what I'm saying? From 90 to 95, I actually moved. I just used to have dreams about Atlanta. And I think Outkast came out in 94, and I was just like in love with Outkast and Organized Noise. And I felt like I wanted to be in Organized Noise. So
what was, I mean, aside from Outkast and Organized Noise, what was so special the summers that you were visiting? What was so special about Atlanta and I guess this influence with music to you? Like, what did you notice?
It wasn't the influence of Atlanta at the time that I was coming here, because I was young.
Right.
So I was stagnant from what I could do. I was limited
That's
to
true.
what I could reach and go see and entertain me. So I was bored as fuck in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like in Des Moines, I can roam, maneuver, do
Right.
whatever. I can have sex with girls. I can, go kick it with, like I could be on my own time, move around. But coming here, stuff's so far away, then you don't know nobody. So I was bored. Every summer I was bored. I would go back to Des Moines wanting to go back. And I didn't feel like that was that didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I want to be back in Des Moines so bad? I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, this shit don't even make sense to me. So 95, I mean, I was older, so I can get around. They got MARTA train, so it was unlimited to what I could do. And I'm the only child, so I don't need support in a way where it's like I don't need people around me to encourage me. Like if I was lifting weight, I don't need a personal trainer to tell me to lift again. You know what I'm saying? Like I just have that self-motivation. So I just would maneuver. But when I came to Tri-Cities, I went to Tri-Cities because my cousins was already at Tri-Cities.
Gotcha.
And they were at Tri-Cities because of the magnet program. And I don't know if the magnet program was the reason why they went to Tri-Cities, but I know the district they were in, they weren't supposed to be at Tri-Cities.
Gotcha.
I think because they were in the magnet, you were allowed to be wherever you at, can go to Tri-Cities.
Yeah, I went to May, so I mean, everybody had their own magnet program. So a lot of, like my older sister, she went to Mays for the magnet program. So I kind of understood that, and that's why I asked. Like maybe that was.
I was in the magnet. I was in TV production. It was just cause I think it was just cause I was going to Tri-Cities and I had to be in magnet.
Right.
But
you started to really, take producing seriously at that once you were in high school, though, right?
Yeah, I started, like I was always big on the transition from one to another. I didn't want to wait till I graduated high school, then be one of them people that, just be sitting around for a couple years trying to figure things out. So I'm already, like, I think that's the gift that I have is preparing and, just staying ahead of the game. So when the transition does happen, like it's smooth. Like you don't see no fall off. You know what I'm saying? You just see a smooth transition because it was just already mentally preparing. I was already mentally preparing myself to make beats. I wasn't even making beats, but I was making beats in my head. Like I was already a producer. I wasn't even physically making beats. I put producer on my graduation picture. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't making beats. You know what I'm saying? So I just for me to really tackle an obstacle, I have to mentally think about it for a long time.
You
so
pretty much claimed it.
Yeah, so it registers, then I can actually attack it.
Right.
But,
as you began producing, I realized that probably wasn't lucrative right away. Like you weren't just like, oh, I made my first hit and it just happened that way. That would be awesome.
It actually did.
It did happen that way?
It actually did.
As soon as you made it,
I think it happened like that because I was mentally preparing for it for a long time. Like my work had already been started. Like my manifestation has already been,
Right.
programmed and set. And I think the sacrifices that I make, I don't even want to say sacrifice because it's like not really a sacrifice. I think the choices that I made to not do the shit my peers was doing to get me ahead quicker, or like a quick scheme, or, be driving early, or, just have money or trying to be the man. Like, I think that's why things worked out for me, because, I'm not a spiritual person. It's just that, God speaks to you. So, like, you have choices, so I could have easily, and which is part of the agenda for me to fall victim to those things that are there, right there in arm's reach. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, I want to create the opposite atmosphere. So when the kids go outside, they see positive shit, and it's regular, normal shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like nothing, like, it's like now or back then you see a black doctor, it was like, wow, it's a black doctor. You know what I'm saying? You see a drug dealer, like, yeah, that nigga's a dope boy. Like, it's regular shit for you to see that and not to see that. So, like, that's what I want for the communities, you know what I'm saying, that we stay in, to go outside and you feel like you can do something else. Right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what's right there
in front of you. That's true. So your first big hit, we would say, was What's Your Fantasy with Ludacriss, right?
Yeah.
You did that here at Patchwerk. Was that your first?
Nah, I ain't do that here.
You didn't do it here?
We mixed it here. Like, I think he might have recorded it here. I ain't make the beat here, though. I made that in my auntie's basement. I can't take that away from her.
You can't take that away.
I made that in my auntie's basement. I ain't make that at Patchwerk.
I guess I want to ask, though, not that wasn't really the focus, just primarily you've grown a lot since then. I'm most positive. Tell me about the experience of making What's Your Fantasy. At the time, he was Chris Leva before, going into his artistry and really creating his own project. How did you guys get together on that, and how was the experience?
It's part of the journey. I mean, as soon as I came to Tri-Cities, like I said, I guess you could call me an introverted person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really, I'm not a people's person where I'm like making friends.
Got you.
I think people make friends with me, then I
slowly open up.
I open up. If you cool or not, that's how I am. So, I used to go to lunch every day. I sit in the lunchroom at lunchtime. Didn't eat. I ain't had no money. Just be chilling by myself. Looking cool, looking fly. Like, there was the new fly looking dude. You know what I'm saying? So, I first connected with this dude named Langston Caraway. He became my best friend. He was a sophomore, I was a junior. We had similar character traits. And he had just moved from Florida. He happened to be cousins of Lil Fate. Lil Fate is a ludacriss hype man. He's the hype man. He knew Chris Lover at the time. Like, they was friends, and Lil Fate was rapping. He was in groups and bouncing around. He know the whole Atlanta. So when I would hang out with Langston, shit, RB would come in. Fate would scoop us up, or he would scoop up Langston. They'll be kicking in. They'll come get me. You know what I'm saying? But I was more Langston's friend than any, Lil Fate. I just got close with Lil Fate through Langston. Me and Fate got close. Through being close, I shared my interests are. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, yeah, I want to do this. This one, I'm a DJ. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I wasn't doing it, but that's what I was doing. At the time, I was a barber though, so that's what people know me for. Like, you know, whatever you're doing when you meet somebody is what you are. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They don't really know your aspirations or your goals or your outcome of what you're trying to do. So I met Chris Lover through fate. You know, just kicking it. Chris would come around every now and then, and we used to like get hotel rooms and just smoke weed and rap and beatbox and shit. That's all we would do on the weekend. So I remember Chris came to one of them. You know what I'm saying? We weren't real like that. Wasn't my man's. Like we weren't each other's friends. You know, right away. Like we were mutual. We knew people. So
Right.
like we didn't have no relationship off the rip. You know. I looked at myself as like extra. You know, it was like extra when it's like when you're not somebody's friend, when you're somebody else's friend, but you're coming to their events and he ain't invite you, that's how I would feel like. And that's how it would be like, damn, I ain't really asked you to come, or like, damn, like who this nigga in here, he finna take some of my bitches. You know what I'm saying? that's how I would feel, you know what I'm saying? So like after a while, me cutting hair, I had got my own shop. Me and my auntie does hair. So we went in on a shop in College Park on Riverdale Road. So it was like right up the street from where I live. And like Chris stayed in Riverdale, like not too far from College Park. So like everybody would come, everybody stayed with him. So everybody would come to to the barbershop and get their haircut. That's how me and Chris really started knowing each other, because before I was even cutting hair at that shop, I was cutting at a shop near Banneker, which is the school him and Fate went to.
Right.
And that's why I used to see him. I had already met him, but I used to see him coming through there. But he, you know, we wasn't tight. So we got tight when he came to the shop one day. And he had an afro, so I would just line him up. And like I said, like I wasn't really his friend like that, so he don't know nothing about me. He just know I'm a barber. So I told him, because he had an MPC, he had a beat machine, an MPC 2000. And Little Fate used to allow me to come in the house. Like Chris wasn't there though, you know what I'm saying? Chris be at the radio. Chris really didn't like, you know, people in his crib and shit. So Fate will allow me to come in there and just fuck with the beat, fuck around. I ain't know what I was doing. I was just playing with it. So I eventually saved my money up and bought an MPC 2000, because that's what I would see when the few studios that I would go to, I would see that's the heart of the operation. So like, damn, see, I couldn't get this information in Des Moines. You know what I'm saying? Like we not up on this technology. So I bought one. The next time Chris came to this time where he was in the shop, I'm cutting his hair, I tell him this. I bought me an MPC 2000. And see, he don't know nothing about me. So he's thinking like I've been around them, so I'm influenced to do music now.
Right.
That's how he felt. Right. You know what I'm saying? So his response is timeless. I always remember the response. You know what I'm saying? And I bought me MPC 2000, and it's like, why you do that for? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nigga, it's what I do. Nigga, you don't know nothing about me. You know what I'm saying? So like 2 weeks go by, I had a beat tape. 2 weeks later, I had a beat tape. He came back to the shop. I took him to my car. I had a Galant Mitsubishi, fresh off the lot. You know what I'm saying? I took him to my car and shit, put the tape in. Shit, I had like 4 beats on there. And like all 4 beats rolled by. He wasn't saying, he was just
bobbing his head.
He was just like, you know how you look in disbelief?
Yeah.
But he wasn't looking at me. He was looking straight ahead. I could just see him like he wasn't saying that. So when we got done with listening to the beats, started walking back to the shop, he's like, man, what are you doing with those beats? I said, man, you know, it's whatever. That's why I played them for you. It's whatever. He's like, man, let me. So I could tell he started mentally thinking like, damn, this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit, like I got a young Timberland. You know what I'm saying? So I got a young Timberland that I ain't gotta pay thousands of dollars for the beats.
Right.
So I could tell he started planning and plotting what he wanted to do. So he started working on his album. And this one day, I had just made this beat in my aunt's basement, and the beat was dope to me. I had sampled like a Lil Kim vocal, and like it was dope. I called his house because Fate be over there. I was calling him, you know, let Fate hear the beat, and Chris picked up the phone. Like soon as he picked up the phone, he ain't say nothing. He was like, man, what you got? That's his first thing he said. Like, it was just like meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you got? I know you got something. So I played him the beat. Man, bring all your beats over now. That's when it was cool to come over then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could come over now. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted me to bring all my beats. So I went over there, and, you know, it was history from there. I mean, I think What's Your Fantasy was the last thing that he recorded. It was probably the last thing I presented to him, which became his song that broke him big. I think he was sleeping on it because it was me though, because I was a new producer.
Right.
And then, you know, it was about politics. So it's about your name and what you did before, which makes the new shit sound better, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But
I feel it. I feel that. I mean, you broke the odds.
Yeah,
obviously.
Everybody kept saying that What's Your Fantasy should be his song, so he just had to go with that. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was it.
Yeah.
It was it. You once said that you value your independence too much when declining, because I presume, I don't know exactly the timeline of when these things were happening. I was very young. But I'm sure after that first big hit, people are like, who produced that? You know what I mean? At the time, people were still reading credits.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you had a lot of people reaching out to you, and as you began to make more hits with Millie, with Wayne, you had, the list goes on. We could talk about all of your credits as well, but I guess I'm more interested in knowing how, you know, Bad Boy offered you a deal, Disturbing the Peace, did they offer you a deal as well? Yeah. Cash Money, early on, you were working with them. Why was your independence so important for you? Like, why you value your independence so much?
It's just my character. So, I think you gotta be, really know who you are to, you know, take on things that come your way. You gotta reflect on the type of person you are to deal with these type of things. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be lying to myself if I was just gonna be signing with somebody and being the type of person that I am. Like, I'd be set myself up for failure. So,
True.
I just feel like I am the boss. So the boss can't have a boss. You know what I'm saying? And my success level might not be another man's success level. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, this is it for them. Like, this is everything. This is everything. You know what I'm saying? I think there's just more to life than just this. And like, my success level is just determined on my what my level is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like this could, like I could be satisfied, you know what I'm saying? Like I accomplished a lot, you know, being from where I'm from. You know, so I'm comfortable with, you know, the slow roll or the grind, or waiting for what's next. I'm cool with that, you know. Now if I had signed with somebody, it could be like shit, I could be out of like, wow, I could be like as big as whatever, you know what I'm saying? But there's always like a catch to shit, man.
Like
There's always catch 22 to things, you know what I'm saying? It all depends what you want.
That's true. I value that as well. I guess something that most people have heard about is like your relationship to Cash Money, in terms of them not giving you what you owe, and that's something that we hear not just with you, but with other producers, other artists, or whatever. I guess until Kurt mentioned it earlier about how Cash Money is their independent label, but they use a Universal as a distributor, right? Can you explain the mechanics behind working with Cash, if you want to, working with Cash Money as an independent label versus working with an artist or dealing with an artist like, I guess, Beyonce, because you work with Beyonce as well, or Kesha, who has an actual label, and securing your royalties?
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think it's just them. You know what I'm saying? It's the individuals. Like I can't blame it on the setup of how it's set up. But being the way it's set up, they have the power to do what they doing. You know what I'm saying? But that's all one individual. You know what I'm saying? I don't think if I had the power that I'll be doing stuff like that. So I can't say it's the way it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's logical. You know what I'm saying? It's logical. Like anybody that got a large sum of money, say you did something with somebody, but the check's coming to you. Like when you get like when money change people, you know what I'm saying? Like what you talked about then might not be the same. Now if y'all both got y'all split at the same time, yours came to them. I mean, he got his and you got yours, then there wouldn't be no issues. But when one is responsible to cut a check to somebody, that's like, especially like test. It's a test. Like you're not really. It's a choice. Like,
can I ask you this though? Is there anything you could have done differently on your side, as a producer, on the business side?
Nah, it ain't the business. That's the thing. Like people don't be knowing what they talking about. It's nothing about the business. My business been the same since What's Your Fantasy. I never had this experience. I've been had an attorney to look over my business. You know what I'm saying? Since day one. Like I'm not a dumb nigga where I just sign shit. So
and that's not what I was insinuating, by the way. I
ain't saying you was. I think people think like, oh, you didn't do your end. Like, nah, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Like, my end's the same. Like I said, it's one's choice to do the right thing or not do the right thing. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you think direct label relationships are necessary for producers at all? Like, I mean, you obviously opted out to remain independent and handle your business the way you have been. But I know there are producers who have ties to labels, and that's just the way they go about it. Do you think it's necessary for those that might be listening
to go through a label? I mean,
or like, is there a benefit to it? I guess is my question.
There's benefits in anything that, I mean, what it's like I said, it's what you want. It's all depends what you want will determine if it's gonna benefit you or not. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it has benefits. Then it has its downfalls. So it all depends what you want. But at the end of the day, like, you're only getting approached by labels or major CEOs because you're hot.
Right.
So if you put that in consideration, how'd you get hot? Like, how'd you get hot? Did these people get you hot? Or did you get yourself hot and these people coming out of nowhere now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really dedicating my life to nobody unless they made me. You know what I'm saying? I made me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't dedicate. I couldn't be a part of something, a part of your shit when I made myself hot. Now you're coming to tell me that I'm hot. I didn't need to be co-signed to know. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care if, like, what level you're at. I feel like I'm that. So just like you feel like you're that, that's how you become that. You know what I'm saying? You believe that you're that. We have the power and self to get to where we want to go. And I think we dumb ourselves down when we take the back seat and we want to work for a nigga or, go get a job or go do this. So I'm going to just do this because my dreams is to be, but man, I know that ain't going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like, shit like that. Like, I just look at myself as they look at themselves. So it might take me longer to get to it because I'm not willing to sacrifice or demoralize is that a word?
Yeah.
Demoralize, my integrity to get something quicker or faster. You know what I'm saying? That's really what this game is. It's really what you down to do to get where you at. You know what I'm saying?
So I read in an article that DJ Drama said you're very smart about who you choose to do production for. And looking at your discography and like just, researching on my own, I feel that's a very valid and true statement. I'm assuming that you feel the same way. Why is that though? Why is it that you're strategic almost in who you choose to work for or with, and who you choose to give your production to?
I can't. Well, I definitely am a opinionative person where, like, if I don't really fuck with it, I probably ain't gonna fuck with it. But I've changed. Like, I fuck with anybody fuck with me, honestly. To look at my discography, those are the people that my production fits for. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really me hand picking who I like want to work with. I wish it was like that, cause my list would be way longer than that. But I think those are the people that it just gravitated towards. It connected with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my production is top tier production. So I feel like the elite artists need to be on my beats. True. You know what I'm saying? You have levels. There's levels. And, like, it's just a top tier level. Like, you ain't gonna get... It's like you buying cooked food, not fast food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, somebody put love into this Thanksgiving meal, or you went to McDonald's.
Absolutely. You worked, to speak on who you've worked with over the years, that you worked with a lot of notable names in the industry, from Lil Wayne, Beyonce, Brandy, one of my favorite vocalists, Kesha, and it goes beyond just hip hop too, which I appreciate. And you talk about, let's actually, before I get to that, talk about where the name Bangladesh comes from, because that's obviously not your real name. Where that name comes from and how you would even describe the way you produce.
Bangladesh came from, it's like one of them things that just came out the sky. Like, that's how I know it's meant to be. Early on, when I made What's Your Fantasy, I didn't have a name. Like, I just had my government. I ain't want to use that. But I didn't, the type of person I am, I'm not finna make some shit up just for the moment and be mad later. So I just rolled out with the government. You know what I'm saying? Bangladesh came about, I think, on the road, on Ludacriss tour, on the road. Like,
you were on tour with them?
Yeah, the first, we was clear. It was DTP, so, like, we was on the road, things took off like 6 months after the record was playing in the Southeast region. You know what I'm saying? You got a deal. So after that, you know, we was all over the place.
Gotcha.
But I think somewhere along the way, me and I-20, another DTP member, we used that word. I don't know where the word come from it, but we used it to describe cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Like dope. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like, that's Bangladesh. We'd be on the road, you know, fucking groupies or something like, we're gonna take them to Room Bangladesh. It just, I don't know where it came from. I named my company Bangladesh Productions first. Then once I did that, I started tagging my beats. So I was working on a project and I was doing the ad-libs and I was, you know, Bangladesh, 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 like a whole bunch of times, and I sampled it and put some type of filter on it, and I just started putting it in front of my beats. I first started doing it on 8Ball and MJG.
Oh yeah.
A Living Legends album. And I felt like I was a producer then, like I had my own sound. You know what I'm saying? Like I had came into my own. So I felt like the tag was appropriate. But after hearing something, you know, Bangladesh, people start calling me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're Bangladesh. I like, damn, yeah, I'm Bangladesh.
I like that. I like that.
I like that. So I just wanted a name to match my influences, you know what I'm saying? Like Timberland, Neptunes, and you know, shit like that. Bangladesh, you know, that sound like a producer name.
You said you're influenced by Timberland and Neptunes?
Timberland more than that. I mean, you know, Neptunes is definitely an influence, but I could say that Timberland and Organized Noise really fueled my fire. I think Neptunes came out later.
Right.
So, you know, when I first heard Outkast, you know, and Aaliyah, I was over with. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was studying, then I was like, damn, it had me locked in. Had me trying to make beats like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Could you share with us an experience working with any artist or project that you just will never forget? Because like I said, you worked with some really big names, some of my favorites, and as artists, they're great. But I'm pretty sure there have been so many experiences you've had, whether it's on the road or just, you know, being locked in producing. Could you share one that you just can't forget?
I mean,
everything.
Working with Gucci. Gucci's like, you know, what you think you know of him is totally opposite. You know what I'm saying? You think like, oh, it's a trap nigga. He going, you know what I'm saying? But like Gucci get in there, go in the booth, and he just raps. He don't write shit down. He's clever, smart, quick. You know what I'm saying? Just fun to work with. Like making Lemonade was fun.
That's one of my favorites.
Because it was like, we was in Vegas in the casino studio. So it was like, and we in Vegas in the studio in the casino. You know what I'm saying? I think he had just got out. I think he was on probation and shit. And he was smoking weed. And I was recording him, you know. And he was like, bang, no. I can't be on camera smoking. And I remember leaving the session probably 6 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning. We left the session and we went out to the casino and he started gambling. It's about 5, 6 in the morning. So I don't gamble. Like, that's not my thing. I went to my room, went to sleep. The next day I probably got out about 1:32. I still see Gucci roaming the hall. Like, he's still roaming, but he got on different clothes. So I'm like, man, this nigga didn't sleep. So we was kicking it. We was kicking it throughout the day. And I remember going to his room. And we was smoking and shit. He was falling asleep holding the blunt. He was tired, you know what I'm saying? But like he goes so hard, he gets so much done. Like it was inspiring. You know what I'm saying? To see somebody like go so hard.
That's dope.
That is the opposite of what people think.
People, yeah. You know their perception of him.
Yeah, perception is...
It's not always reality, right?
Yeah.
And I just think that was one of the best beats ever. Like, I like all of your beats, to be honest. All of your productions is awesome. But Lemonade is something I remember in high school and, like, just everybody freestyling, too. Like, so many artists have freestyle over that beat aside from Gucci's actual song. So I think that's dope.
I remember going to his room. We was in the Trump, one of them Trump joints, like the $5,000, the $40,000 a night room shit. And he had the big pool falling off the shit. And I remember, you know, when he see me come in, he's like, bang. Oh man, bang. Shit, we gonna turn up. We out here, boy. We got guns. We got money. I was like, this nigga Gucci.
Wait, but you're in the video. You were in the video.
Yeah.
But also your nieces and your daughter was in the video too.
Yeah.
And they're on the hook.
Yeah.
I just found that out. That's dope.
Yeah, I be trying to make shit happen. You know, I think it was a good experience. You know what I'm saying? Like putting them on the hook and shit. And putting them in the video.
Yeah, I'm sure they appreciate that today.
Yeah. Yeah, and to elaborate on the Lemonade freestyle, I met Big Sean, talked to him for the first time at that time, and he was like, man, do you know that I got my deal from rapping on Lemonade? I like, nah, I ain't know that. I think you owe me something.
That's so dope. So let me get back to your tag because, like you said, you didn't have a tag when you did What's Your Fantasy. You hadn't even figured out if that was going to be a name or nothing.
Because it was happening. So
right,
fast.
Right. But you usually, after that, once you got your tag, you add it to your songs. But I realized that it wasn't featured on the songs with Beyonce.
Yeah, it's Beyonce.
She don't have no tags.
Nah, it's about Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? About Beyonce, you know, take that tag off. I don't know. I like you, but take your tag off. I don't want people to know that you had something to do with it, I guess. But I don't know. I mean...
Did that make you feel some type of way, or you just like, it's Beyonce?
Nah. If I was Beyonce, I'd probably tell niggas to take their tags off too, like, honestly, because it kind of starts to what's the word? Starts to fuck with the music, you know what I'm saying? Starts to fuck with, like, I hate to hear an album full of tags on the beats, man. Like, this shit get on my nerves.
That's true.
Like, if I'm part of a project that has an album full of tags, I'll take mine off. Yeah. Cause whatever the opposite is, like, what if there's a lot of niggas doing it, I don't want to do it.
That's real.
I was doing it when niggas weren't doing it. So, you know, and I made the tag. It wasn't like I gave Beyonce a beat and I wasn't nobody. You know what I'm saying? And it had a tag on it. I can get that. I mean, I understand from every angle her being Beyonce, but it's different if you was just a new nigga and you had tags galore on your shit and you ain't got no placements. And Beyonce actually was fucking with your beat. I could see that. But I actually like, cause you actually would be making me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Beyonce put my tag on and shit and I wasn't nobody, I'd be out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, she would have to sign me and shit, get some pub or something. But I already had established myself. But I wasn't tripping about that shit. Like, I want the money. Like, I want to get paid.
Absolutely. So, and the Diva was a good big one.
People know what it is. They hear the beat. They know what it is.
They know. Yeah.
So,
I guess I always ask producers that, especially those who have been in the game for a minute, like, it's different because people aren't reading the credits. Like, the value of your tag, you know, people knowing that you did it. You have a different circumstance. But just for young producers, knowing that, like, so-and-so made the beat, K Swisher, like, just these younger producers, they use that tag for maybe that reason. Maybe.
I don't know. I honestly, I'm going to just keep it 100. I think I made it popular. You know what I'm saying? Niggas weren't tagging they beats before me. You know what I'm saying? Niggas would talk on they shit. Niggas would say Swiss or Just Blade. They would say the shit, but it wasn't like a DJ tag, like a tag. You know what I'm saying? So I think a Millie inspired a lot of the new generation of producers. So a Millie had a lot to do with them tags and people just producing. A Millie came out around the time where new technology was coming out. So it was like all these kids with these new software programs and shit. Like I see so many of them tell me how a Millie had them making beats. Like niggas that's on now. Like, you know, a Millie did a lot to them. And the tag is just, you know, for me, it wasn't like a thing that everybody was doing. Now it is kind of whack to me now. Like I hate to be a part of something that everybody is a part of. That's why I ain't sell dope. Because everybody did it. Like I go outside, everybody did it. Like I don't want to do that shit. Everybody do that shit. That's why I make beats. Nobody was doing it. Like man, ain't nobody doing this music shit. Let me try that shit. I want to do the new shit. I don't want to be a part of what everybody, the trend of shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Well, it's real trendy actually.
Oh man, it's ridiculous.
Wait, no, it's trendy to create your own mixtapes and projects now, as you know, that's like a thing that not only artists do but producers do. And you know, when I talk to DJs and stuff, they're like, you know, mixtapes were different than it was just literally mixing songs together and creating that would be a mixtape. Why do you think, because I know you had a few projects that you put out on your own, why do you think that was an important part of the journey for you, and did it even get you more work upon releasing it?
I don't think.
Or was
I mean, it was just a part of the hype. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it got a high Millie beat. And it's like, oh man, you need to do like that. My first mixtape came about because of drama. I mean, DJ Don Cannon. Cannon. He's like, man, you should do a mixtape. I'm like, all right. I just rap? Yeah. So I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I hear that shit, like, it's not me. Like, it's not me. It's not who I am. Yeah. The music I'm making now, I got some shit now that is me. Like, I found my sound, my style. People appreciate, you know, it more, I think. Then it was just the wave. It was like, I need to capitalize on the wave. So that's why I was doing that shit. It wasn't really speaking of who I am.
Right.
And really touching the people. You know
Let's talk about what you're doing now, though. Like, I actually want to know, what do you use technology-wise? Like, I mean, I'm sure a lot has changed.
Nah, ain't nothing
changed for you?
Nothing changed. Shit changed. Like, I'm
saying
like,
technology has changed.
Nah.
So, no?
Like, for people.
Yeah, but not for you.
But, like, I stick to the program. I haven't transitioned over to the new wave. You know what I'm saying?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they say.
I mean, I want to learn the shit. I think it's something for me to do. But like, I'm in a different stage and I'm in a different process. You know, producing ain't the same to me no more. It's different. You know, it's not the same hunger or drive. It's more of just accomplishing the mission. So if I'm trying to work on a Beyonce song, the approach is different. Like, it's not gonna be like I'm gonna be in there trying to come up with something from scratch. Like, I'm a brainstorm. Like, I'm a utilize what's around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my son produce beats, my cousin. I'm utilizing shit. Like, if they got ideas, you know what I'm saying? Like, Cockiness, like, was my cousin idea. He found that sample, you know what I'm saying? Like, gave it to me. So it's like, all I gotta do is figure out the bounce. And like, the job easy. Like, everybody contribute. Like, it's not like, you know, I could use the MP. I just really, wherever the sounds are, it ain't really about programming in these machines. Like, cause I program in Pro Tools. Like I make a beat. I made a beat the other day, used the MP, I just imported the sounds into the Pro Tools and placed the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Then once I got a skeleton or body or idea, then I'll go to the MP and build shit up. I'm like a real producer. I build. Like I'm not like I just make a beat, give it to a rapper, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like make 20 beats. I'm gonna send you a 20 pack today. Like, you know, it's like that new technology, make 20 beats that sound the same in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Where the loops is already in there. You just take the loop that everybody got and put a drum. Like, it's not enough work for me. You know what I'm saying? I like the work.
I guess today, like, are there any artists that you were interested in working with that you haven't yet? You're just like, dang, it would be cool to, work with them.
I want to work with Andre 3000, of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like the hardest thing in the world to work with Andre 3000. You know what I'm saying? Like,
be around now, at least.
Nah. Like, I mean, that's my man. We talk
space.
on the phone, all that. Like, but it's hard to actually
work, yeah.
Because he's like a real artist. You know what I'm saying? Like the epitome of what artistry is. Mm-hmm. So real artists really don't tamper with other things. You know what I'm saying? Real artists don't do things when they ain't ready to do them. They do them on their time. They move how they want to move. They express themselves when they want to, how they want to. Like it's what real artists do. Not really on a time frame of not really telling you what the content is or how to dress and shit like that. But
that's true.
I mean, like I said, man, I work with anybody that fucks with me. I'm not gonna knock anybody because shit is like, shit is opposite now. Shit that you think ain't the shit is the shit. So you can't really your opinion don't matter in music. It don't matter. Like me, my opinion would just push me away from shit more than bring me to the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the way shit is, like, I would have a opposite outlook on shit. So the way I am, the way I speak, it's detrimental. It's dangerous to people. Like, they get scared. So, like, saying my opinion of what I like of an artist, I don't do that no more. True. Like, it's about how hard you're working and what you're doing.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think about music right now? Is it missing anything?
Absolutely. It's not music right now. It's no... Music is experience, it's passion and love and shit, man. It's like, it's real, It's a baby. It take 9 months to make, you know what I'm saying? It's not fast food. Like, we in fast food era. We in a fast food era. It's really simple as that, metaphorically. It's fast food. Like, McDonald's done killed more niggas than a gun has. If you probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, McDonald's got so many bodies, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And niggas don't know it. They just got fast food. They got satisfied to move on to their next event. But I think the way music used to be is like slow cooked food baked in the oven. You know what I'm saying? Like, take your time with experience. Like, niggas had to live through an experience to go write about some shit. Now, you ain't got to do that. Niggas just make the same song over and over. You ain't got to experience shit. That's why back in the day, you put your album out, then you work on your other album, 2 years go by. And the fans weren't tripping about that. They be waiting 2 years. Can't wait till that new shit drop. You know what I'm saying? Then when you drop it, it'll last. Niggas want now, nigga. You drop some music, you drop about 30 songs on your tape. Niggas be like, we can't wait for the new shit. I can't wait for the new song.
I mean, you could say that
like,
it's still artists out there that you will wait. Like, I'm gonna wait on a Beyonce and be.
Yeah, that's an individual. That's you.
True.
That's an individual. You're a real fan, and you name Beyonce.
But that's why I'm not even a huge Beyonce fan, but I named her because I think there are artists that people are willing to, because they realize it takes time for them.
But every artist you name will be an iconic artist.
That's true.
There's no iconic shit now.
That's true.
Like, who album you waiting for right now?
King J, but that's personal. I'll let you listen to him.
Okay.
Yeah. After.
But see, that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
Right? We got our own personal things. It's not really the mainstream shit no more. It's like, I know, like you just named somebody I ain't never heard of.
Not yet.
And that's your shit. Like, man, that's what I'm saying. So
I feel you. Yeah, it's so much. It's just so much to consume.
yeah.
It's so much music out there. So I agree. And I
mean, it's great that you could be able to distribute your own shit and put your own shit out and have your own voice and your own creativity, your own vision. The thing that I liked about the game industry, the music industry back then, it didn't allow everybody to do it. But it's the catch-22. It's like a thing because it's like you couldn't get through the door unless you knew a nigga or you did 20 things before that. Which was the bad part of it, but it's the good part because it sifts through the niggas that's gonna work hard and really be passionate and adamant and stand the test of time.
Absolutely.
You give these challenges now, it wouldn't last a day. That
makes me wonder, like, cause when you talked about like getting through the door, how did you manage to work with other artists, like with these big names? Like, how did you manage to produce with these people over the years? Like, what was it?
Had to learn how to hustle and market myself. So I would just like go door to door. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see these artists, I'll approach them. I have credibility, so I just tell them, like, I did this, I did that. What's up? You did that? And I'm in with them. I found that approach more easier than going through the management or the labels. People that have nothing to do with the creative part of it, just more politic part. So they gonna shit on the situation because they ain't politically attached to you. So I went through that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Once I got off the DTP boat, I had to swim. You know what I'm saying? I had to swim. I had to figure the shit out. So first thing I learned that shit ain't real. Like, niggas ain't real. People don't say what they mean. So, you know, giving my beats to people, middle people, like, yeah, this, that, yeah, for real, yeah. Then the time come and be like, you see them next time, what's up, man? And you go on about your business. Nothing was brought back up about that shit that you was just going crazy about. So I'm like, okay, this shit weird. So, because I'm totally opposite. I'm a realist. Like, I haven't got into I haven't dove into the industry yet. You know what I'm saying? That's why my career be like, you know, I be there, but I haven't got that Kanye level yet. Cause I ain't dove into shit. Like, I ain't swam in this bitch cause it's not no room for a person like me to swim in. So, I mean, just meeting people that I always learn from the negative. You know what I'm saying? So if I see an example of something negative, that's good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? That's good enough for me. That's how I got to where I'm at, seeing my mom come home mad about the job or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't want to work there. You know what I'm saying? It's good enough for me. Like, I'm gonna just fucking stick my neck out there. How could it hurt? I mean, the worst it could do is I'll be working at their job. You know what I'm saying? But I would never know if I never tried it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
you spoke a little bit about your credibility and like being able to approach these artists or being able to approach people in general in the industry. Why is that so important? And I guess even though like you're a very confident person.
Yeah.
And that's evident throughout this and just what I've seen of your work. Is there a place in business for like to be humble in this business? Is there a place to be humble?
I don't think people want humble.
They don't.
People don't want humble, man. People want to be lit and turned. People don't pay attention to no humble. Like, only wise people see humble. You know what I'm saying? Only people that are like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Which are few. So, but if you're in the music business, man, what? Man, talk that shit, man. Wear them diamonds, pop that shit, bang. Like, what, you ain't saying shit, nigga? Like, that's what they want, you know what I'm saying? But that ain't my style. So it'd be like, damn, I see what they want, but I can't. I remember when I first got on IG, I wasn't controlling my IG. And the captions that the motherfucker will write were like lit, like popping. And the comments people write, they like that. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, ever since I've been controlling my shit, I see the difference in my captions and the captions of before. So people might have thought I turned down. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he ain't lit no more. He used to turn up, he used to pop shit. And that's, you know, the overall sense is that's what they like. That's what they want.
Yeah.
So humble shit ain't, you know, it's cool.
Who's this on the back of you?
It's my daughter. My oldest daughter. It's a Father's Day gift.
That's sweet.
And this ain't no he ain't around thing. Like, oh, I don't see my daughter. I got custody of my daughter. You know.
That's awesome. So how is it with you being in the industry and having to take care of your family? And
I think that's the humble part of it. I think that's the realest of it. I think that's why my career is what it is. Like, that's why I say I haven't dove into it, because it's hard to do. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do both. You can't dive into something because you'll miss out on shit. You know what I'm saying? You won't be there for shit. You won't teach them shit. You know what I'm saying? You just be coming around. You know, when you come around, like, that ain't my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. There's a lot of things I ain't do to further my career because I couldn't do it because of this. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a sacrifice thing, but it's ain't nothing better than kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, music shit ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of niggas that's trying to outdo each other. But kids are like everything. Like, there's nothing in the world that you could purchase that will satisfy you like a kid. You know what I'm saying? Which is free.
Which is free.
Free having them, but
Right.
you know, you gotta pay for the shits. But you know, but if you gonna pay for something, definitely, you know, people be getting dogs and shit. Like, I'd rather have a kid than, oh, I'm gonna go get a puppy. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a kid. Kids are awesome.
Yeah.
They like the most innocent thing. Like, we should have kids run the world, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Kids should be the president. Because they don't have the, the life experience that adults have dictate the character that they create after, you know what I'm saying? So you could be an asshole-ass motherfucker or an evil person because of a situation. But kids ain't went through situations to know what hate is and shit like that. They just come out love automatically.
I agree. What we want to know what you got coming up next. What's next for Bangladesh, and what can we expect from you?
Well, I have artists. I have a roster of artists that I'm developing, and I mean, we moving. We doing shows. I have Brenda Mata. She's on Def Jam. She's from Belgium. If I had to put her in the categories like a Rihanna Lane, you know. I have Precious Way. She a female rapper from Chicago, dope lyricist, like bars for real pretty, beautiful. I have Famous to Most. They are two male rap. It's a rap group. They actually come from the dance scene, so they created the whip and the nene. Or one did the whip, one did the nene. So they like created
in the
group.
dance scene. That's dope.
But don't think like dance songs like Silento type shit. It's just like real songs. Like they real talented dudes. I have my project I've been working on. I have a deal on the table with Def Jam as well, but I don't know if I'm a major label type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for other outlets. You know what I'm saying? I'm really just looking for a partnership with a boutique or something that really looks good with my brand. I don't know if a major label would look good with my brand. I mean, come so far to sign a deal. Now, I don't know if I want to do that, but I have music. I got songs with Migos. I got a song with Ice Cube, Kendrick, Nipsey Hussle, and Game on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody got songs like mine. You know what I'm saying? I got Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott song. I got all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting this song together now with Cardi B, Missy, and 2 Chainz.
Wow.
I think my first single gonna be Jeremiah Implies, which is a smash. So
Dope.
I got a Gucci song that's crazy that we did before he went to prison like 4 years ago. Crazy. Like, I got timeless shit. That's why I moved the way I move. It's not really a rush to put, like, my shit be jamming 10 years later. Like lyrically, beat wise, everything like is still intact.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could play you some shit you wouldn't even believe that it's old. You know what I'm saying? Most of my placements be old. They're not like I just made the beat and I got a placement. It'd be like 2 years went by, 3 years went by. You know, like 4 years, 2-3 years before Millie was placed, 3 years before Bossy was placed, like shit like that. But I was shopping it. Niggas wasn't fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like they like it, they pick it, but they can't do nothing with it.
Right.
Man, what I'm gonna do to this? You know what I'm saying? So,
But that's what makes it timeless.
yeah.
I think that's dope. You have a...
So, you know, I'm just trying. I'm really, my thing is creating a platform of music just to flow through. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can hear Bangladesh music more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we look forward to it.
Thanks.
I wish I could talk to you more.
Thanks.
But I know you're busy. We're just happy to have you here.
I appreciate you.
And let us know where they can find you on social media and how they can hear more from you.
Yeah, I'm on social media. I'm on IG, Bangladesh Productions, BANGLADESH Productions. I'm on Twitter.
Barely.
No.
You on Twitter, but you ain't on there.
Yeah, I'm not on there. I have more followers on there though.
Yeah.
Mr. Bangladesh on Twitter.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, like I said before, and yeah, no problem. We look forward to hearing what else you got cooking up with the artists as well as yourself and your project that's coming out.
Thanks.
As always, you guys can find me on social media at Sammy Approved as well as Patchwerk Studios. Thank y'all for listening to the I Do Music Podcast. We out.
Thank you.
No problem.
Sonically superior.